Hello everyone, I'm MVL and today we're doing a quick pickups video for the month of November. Now the first thing I got in the way of hardware is the NES Classic Edition. Now I actually did a unboxing video of this in itself, so I won't show you much. Here's the little console itself. It is tiny, 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 tiny. It's very good. The controller is very similar to the original NES, and it's a great deal. Especially for the price. You get 30 games. I can't really say enough good things about it, but I won't say too much about it because I already have done an unboxing video showing gameplay footage between that and the original. I think it's a good deal, and I picked it up. So there you go. Moving on, I got a bunch of games for the Commodore 64. The first one I got is Gaplus. Gaplus is the lesser known sequel to Galaga. 97% from CU, which I believe is probably Commodore User Magazine from November 1988, and they say buy it. They just say buy it. That's their quote. Yeah, sequel to Galaga. I like Galaga. I'm going to play that. Next up, Gemini Wing. Now this is a really awesome looking shooter game. It's also on the Amiga. I found a copy for the Commodore, so I picked it up. Commodore cassettes are really cheap these days, £1 or £2 each normally. Having said that, I also picked up Ice Palace, which is a kind of a role-playing style game. And this is actually sealed. Look at this, it's in the original Mastertronic packaging. It's kind of cool. But you know what I do with sealed games? Do you know what's going to happen? Do you know what's going to happen? I've already ruined it by opening it anyway. Yeah, it's out of the packaging. And that is Ice Palace. Next up, a game called Last Mission on the Commodore 64. This is another shooter game. A test of valor to challenge the most outstanding arcade space fighter. So I imagine this game is going to be quite difficult. But there you go, it's in one of these really big cases, which is kind of awkward because the cassette can roll around. There's not much space to keep it in there, but it does allow them for a lot of space for artwork, which is nice. Next up, Sidewinder II. This is another shoot 'em up game, another space shooter, but this does look really cool, and I've seen some gameplay footage of this. And I do like the look of it. It's also, same with Gemini Wing really, it's also on the Amiga. I just couldn't find a copy on the Amiga. They're quite old games, quite hard to find them, so I got it on the Commodore. It will look worse, most certainly, but you know, at least I have a copy of it. And finally, Starquake, a Ricochet Mastertronic section. This means it was a budget title around about £2, and that's a platformer. I just picked it up with the rest of them really, a couple of pounds, nice to have it. Moving on, I got for the Nintendo 64, Pilotwings 64. Unfortunately this is just a one-player game. Anyone that's played any of the Pilotwings previously knows that this is a flight simulator game. I picked it up really cheap for a loose cartridge. It's nice to have that. Next up, for the PlayStation 1, is a game called Mobile Light Force. Or is it? Because this game is actually a port of a Japanese shooter called Gunbird. And it's pretty cool that we got a version of this, although it has been rebranded, repackaged as Mobile Light Force, which is not. It's a Japanese shooter called Gunbird. So that's kind of interesting. I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I can't really get a version that I can play of the original game. I have been playing a lot of shooters, so it is good to pick this up. So it was nice to pick that up despite how it's been rebranded and repackaged. Moving on, for the PlayStation 2, I got a couple of sweet titles, but I think the one I want to move on to and talk about the first is Mobile Light Force 2. Now, first of all, let me show you the packaging. Here's Mobile Light Force 1, here is Mobile Light Force 2. It is the exact same cover, bar a few minor differences. So what is Mobile Light Force 2? Well, it's another Japanese shooter that has been ported to our European region by rebranding it. It is not a sequel to Mobile Light Force. There's no such thing as Mobile Light Force 2 or Mobile Light Force for that matter. This is another Japanese shooter, a completely different game, Castle of Shikigami in this instance. So it is interesting. This is the kind of game I would like to pick up. This is a port that I can play, so there you go. I hear that it has been overdubbed terribly and things like that, so oh well, but at least the gameplay will still be there. So next up, Dark Cloud. Now this is a role-playing game for the PlayStation 2. I'm pretty excited to pick this up. It looks really good, so I am pleased with that, and I will be giving that a go sometime. Dark Cloud. When I did pick it up, the lady at the counter said that the character on front looked a lot like Zelda. I believe she was referring to Link, the main character of the series, but he kind of does. So kind of interesting there. Another RPG game. I can't wait to get stuck into that. Next up for the PlayStation 2 is a game called Endgame. And this is it's a shooter game, gun-com shooter. So there you go, I like shooter games, I like Time Crisis. The cover for this game kind of reminds me of something like Alias or Dark Angel, one of those daytime TV shows. With it's got nothing to do with the game, it's kind of funny. So there you go, a shooter game with light guns for the PlayStation 2, Endgame. And then finally, one that I was particularly happy to pick up, Jade Cocoon 2. Just found this in a shop. Really great to pick this up. I love Jade Cocoon 1. It's an RPG game with kind of Pokemon elements, which recently World of Final Fantasy is kind of doing. It says anime fans will gush over the cool character designs, and that's Electronic Gaming Monthly's quote on the front cover there. So yeah, cool. I'd love to pick this up. That's great. Next up for the original Xbox. I already have this game, Enter the Matrix. But with the price of Xbox original games being about £1 to £2, I couldn't resist a little graphical upgrade to get Enter the Matrix on the Xbox. So there, and that is a good game. I played it, completed it back in the day. It's a great game. And now I'm going to start getting some sort of reputation, I feel, as I also picked up Playboy the Mansion. And I will say that when I did pick this up, it had a recommended sticker on the shop in there, and I paid about £1.50 or something like that for this. It's a Sims type game, set around Hugh Hefner's world, if you will. I guess you can just be like Seth Green and hang around in the Playboy Mansion. There you go. So, for the PC, I picked up The Witcher Enhanced Edition, and this is the Platinum Edition. It comes with some beefy game manuals. When I saw this, I thought that these might have been art books, but no. And then there's the game itself, with a ton of accolades, as you would expect on the front. And this is an enhanced, not a remake, but just graphically enhanced version of The Witcher. I played The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 3, but I have not played the original Witcher, so it was cool to pick that up. So, next up, I picked up a couple of 3DS games, 3 of them. First off, I picked up Fire Emblem Awakening, and I know I should own this game already as I have the sequel to this, or the next game rather, but I don't own Fire Emblem Awakening. It was a bit more money than I wanted to pay for, so I finally found it, in this instance, at a reasonable price, and I picked it up finally, so I can finally play Fire Emblem Awakening. And the next up, and yeah, I'm gonna get some sort of reputation for this. It is Senran Kagura Burst, and yeah, that's the cover art they went with for the European release. The American release looks more like a traditional Japanese style game with anime characters in. But yeah, that's the artwork they went with, and that's what they chose to put on the back as well. So yeah, I had to take this to account and not look like some sort of weirdo. It's a side-scrolling fighting game. The later iterations of this game on the PlayStation 4 are more like one-on-one fighting games in the style of Dragon Ball Z Budokai and things like that. I've seen people selling this game for around about £150 online because there's so few Power Region copies made. I picked it up for about £14 second hand, so I can't really complain there. And moving on, finally, I picked up Pokemon Sun, another game where I played the demo of it, and it talked me into buying the game. There's a special Pokemon, Greninja, that you can move to the full version when you complete the demo, and if you bought the game in the first month, you get like a Snorlax with a Z move, or I can't remember the mechanics, but there you go. So I actually am quite enjoying this Pokemon, so it was good to pick up another Pokemon game, this time for the 3DS. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.